Right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutation, much respect and love to you brothers out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. All right? So let's get right into it, you know? Let's get right into it. This is Malachi 3 and 6. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore the sons of Jacob are not consumed," man. All right, so the Israelites would never be consumed. They would never be taken off the face of the earth and completely consumed. Okay? Because the Most High made a promise to our forefather Abraham that his seed will basically inherit the kingdom and be gods on the earth. So this is what we're coming into. We're coming into that time. All right, so the Most High's promise never changed. He never stopped only dealing with the Israelites. He never stopped that. What happened was he punished us for a certain period of time, and now this is the time where those punishments are being taken off and put upon our enemies. Okay? Let's get a Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. This is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. It reads, "And the Lord Yahweh and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee." All right, so the Lord is going to take off all the curses that were upon us. That's written in Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, and he's going to place that upon our enemies. Okay, our chief enemy being who? The so-called white man, which is the Edomites, but also all the rest of these nations, man. Moab, Ishmael, Elam, they're all going to get it too. Okay, because they're all enemies of the Israelites. You see? Go to Amos, I believe it's in Amos. It goes through a list of the nations that have to receive judgment. Right, when you read Amos, it goes into all these different nations. Starts with this is verse 5, Amos 1 and 5. It says, "I will break also the bar of Damascus and cut off the inhabitant from the plain of Even, and him that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden, and the people of Syria shall go into captivity unto Kir, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity, to deliver them up to Edom." Okay? But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof. And I will cut off the inhabitant of Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter of Ashkelon, which is going into the Israelites getting punished. You see what I'm saying? But when you go further down, it's going to go into the other nations. Let me jump to verse 9. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof." Except when it was speaking about Syria, speaking about the Syrians, right? Because they delivered up the whole captivity of Edom and remembered not the brotherly covenant. But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. Thus saith the Lord, the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. So now it's going into the Edomites, you see? Right? Because the Edomites are the number 1 people who are going to get punishment in that time. They're going to get the worst end of the stick. All right? And it says, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever. Okay? But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Basra. Now, so Esau, Edom, is going to get a great punishment, all right, for what he's done to the Israelites. And that's when you read the whole book of Obadiah, that's what it's going into. It's going into the judgment of Esau, Edom, okay? Because there has to be a judgment. The Most High is not going to let his word go out void, man. All right? That's why these Edomites are mad now, because they know they have to pay. And they don't want to pay, man, but they're going to have to pay, man. They don't have a choice, in other words. All right? Let's get Joel, the 3rd chapter, because this is going to be going into other nations, man. This is Joel 3. I'll start at verse 1, man. Let's get Joel 3 and 1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right, which means Yahweh Shaphat, means the Heavenly Father's judgment, Yahweh's judgment. Okay, when you break it down into Hebrew, it says, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You see what I'm saying? So it said he's going to gather all nations for that. Why? Because all nations had a hand in us being scattered. See, we weren't just scattered to Edomite nations. We were scattered throughout the whole world, man. Okay, you have Israelites in China, you have Israelites in India, okay, Israelites in Pakistan, Israelites in Sri Lanka, okay, Israelites amongst the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, okay, why? Because we've been scattered amongst all these other nations, you see, and it says, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Right? So the Tyre and Zidon is going into the Hamites, and Palestine is going into who's dwelling in Palestine right now? The Ishmaelites. Okay? So that's going into other nations. So like I said, it's not just Esau that's going to get it, man. All these other nations going to have to get it as well, man. Okay? They've been buddy-buddy with the so-called white man, so they're going to have to pay with it. All right? They're gonna have to pay with it. They can't just sit here and think that they're gonna ride into the sunset, but Esau's gonna get his judgment. No, all of them have to get it. Okay, the Most High is an equal opportunist when it comes to judgment. Okay, and it says, will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. That's what they did. They sold us into who? The Edomites, man. The so-called white man. Right? So he's given a judgment for all those nations that had a part in that. That's what it's speaking about. Okay? It's specifically speaking about the transatlantic slave trade. All right? So let's see what the Most High has, what his judgment is for that. Okay? He says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them. Right? So who was sold as a people? There's only one nation on the planet Earth that was sold as a people, bro. Okay? By the millions. That was the Israelites, man, that was prophesied to happen to us. Okay? No other nation that went through that. You see? So that's why it's undeniable. That's why Esau, what he wants to do is he wants to take us off of the YouTube because there's too much truth going out. So now he's nitpicking things, man. Okay? But you can have an Edomite on there right? A so-called white woman, an Edomite chick, on there speaking about bestiality, how she does bestiality. But that stays up on YouTube, you know? But we speak out some truth against the so-called white man in his own history that's in the books. It's not a secret. It's in the books, okay? No, that's hate speech. That's this and that. No, it's a fact. It's a historical fact is what we're bringing up, okay? Let's go. It says, behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So that means there's going to be a recompense. What does recompense mean? It means a payback, okay? The big payback. And the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American are going to get their payback on the so-called white man and the rest of these nations. But starting with the so-called white man, because that's the main enemy of Israel, okay? He's done the most wickedness, man, the most evil to our people. All right, so they're going to have to pay as a whole. See? It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. So what is the Most High going to do? He's going to allow us to sell their sons and their daughters. Why? Because they're going into slavery under us. All right? And we're not going to treat them nicely in slavery, man. Okay? They're going to get double what we got. See? It says, and I will sell your daughters and your sons, or your sons and your daughters, into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off, for the Lord had spoken it. I didn't speak it. The Lord spoke it, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai spoke it. Okay? This was written before any of us were born. Okay? This is called prophecy, man. And judgment. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right, so Esau and the other nations are going to have to pay for that, man. All right, there's nothing that Esau can do to wiggle his way out of that, man. There's a judgment that was set thousands of years ago, man. And guess what? Everything that's written in this book is going to come to pass, man. Let's get Habakkuk. And that's why it's at the point now, Esau, what he's trying to do is he's trying to stop people from believing in the scriptures. Okay? He's trying to push that atheism, that evolution nonsense, because he knows at the end of the day, this is not good for him. Okay? This is not for his benefit. Right? This is Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk. I'll start at 2 verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, man. So these things that we're speaking are definitely going to come to pass, man. Okay? And it's definitely speaking in these last days more than ever. Okay? That's why the majority of the people, they can't really explain it, but they know that it's the last days, man. That's the general consensus. Okay? Because it is the last days. We're coming, the clock is ticking for Esau, man. Esau's rulership is almost over. The Most High put Esau up for a certain period of time to rule, so that he could show his power by taking them down, just like he did with Pharaoh in Egypt. Pharaoh was just used as a tool so that the Most High can use to show his power on it. Okay? Just like the so-called white man, the Edomites are being used right now, so when the Lord comes back, he's going to show his power. Okay? That's all. Because the Most High set up these Edomites. They didn't set themselves up. The Most High set them up and put them in the position that they're in, man. Brought them from the caves, grunting, not even having a language, to being a ruler, man. The Most High did that. Let's get Daniel's the 4th chapter. It's going to tell you that. This is Daniel's 4 and verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the word, the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So that's what he did. Okay? When you hear the basis of men, that means the lowest of men. Okay, which is so-called white man, the Edomites are the lowest of men. Okay? Like I said, man, before they were ruling, coming back into power in the Renaissance, they didn't even have a language, man. You know, they didn't believe in washing themselves. Okay? They used to wear, like, there was an account where the Edomite would come and meet with I believe it was an Ishmaelite, and the account was basically that the Edomite, they used to wear their clothes until they disintegrated off of them, man. All right? So these Edomites are base people, man. All right? They're not a high-level people that they promote themselves to be. Okay? You know? And there's another account when the Edomites were coming to meet with the so-called Arabs back then, that they used to have their woman used to sit there with her crotch out, and she used to be itching her crotch in front of the Arab dignitaries, man. That's how these so-called white people get down, man, in their natural state, man. All right? Let's get Job 30, man. This is Job 30. And I'll start at verse 1. Because Job already said how these Edomites are. He was speaking about Esau. Okay? It says, and this was prophecy back then. Okay? So he's telling people, he's saying right here what was going to happen in this time. All right? Because Job is back here now. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. All right? Because we know how Edomites get down with dogs, man. All right? They like to have sexual relations with dogs, man. Okay? So Job said, listen, I wouldn't even let these Edomites around my dogs, man. Okay? And it says, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. And that is the history of the Edomites, man. Okay, the Edomites were usually cast out of certain places of different nations. Why? Because they were low-based people. Okay, and everyone knew that they were just wicked. All right, so that's why eventually they ended up fleeing into the caves and stuff like that, because they were getting ran out of these different places. All right, if you look at the Khazarian Empire, right, which are the so-called Jews come from the Khazarian Empire. All right, that's what would happen to them. They would always be banished from different lands, man. Okay, because they would be stealing. There'd just be a bunch of lowlives, man. Okay, but now guess what? They run the world. It says, to dwell in the cliffs of the rocks, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. So that tells you who it's speaking about. It's speaking about the Edomites, man. It gave you a clear clue right there. It said that they went to dwell in the cliffs of the rocks, in the caves of the earth, man. Okay? When you look at that word Caucasian, it's speaking about them that dwelt in the Caucasus Mountains, which is in Georgia, Russia. Okay? Right? So that's a clue right there who it's speaking about. It's speaking about the so-called white people, the Edomites. All right? It says, to dwell in the cliffs of the rocks, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they braid. And a braying is the sound that a horse makes, man. It brays, okay? It's not a language. That's what these Edomites used to be doing. They used to be braying. They didn't have an actual language, okay? Right? They would stink so much that when they used to go to different places, they said, no, they had to teach them how to wash up, okay? How to properly clean themselves, man. And it says, Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth, man. And this is who you have over you right now. And this is why the earth is the way it is, man. Why the earth is all polluted and things like that. Okay? And the people are all completely wicked and depressed because you have a demon ruling over you, an Edomite. You see? When the righteous are in rulership, like we always say, really like the scripture says, everyone's going to be happy, man. Okay? The majority of the planet Earth is going to be rejoicing. But as long as these Edomites are ruling, the earth is going to be in a mourning state. Let's get that real quick. Let's get that real quick. Let's get Proverbs. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. All right, so when the righteous are ruling, right, after these nations served slavery for 1,000 years under us, guess what? The people are going to rejoice. Okay? But when the wicked bear rule, when the Edomites bear rule, as they're bearing rule right now, the people mourn. Okay? So that's a clear cut how we know who the wicked is. All right? The so-called white people are the wicked according to the scriptures, and their true biblical nationality is the Edomites. Okay? They are Edomites, not white, not Caucasian. They're Edomites according to the Bible.
Yeah.
All right?
There.
And it says, let's get Job 9 and 24. Right? Job 9 verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the earth was given into the hands of the wicked by the Most High, by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? Like I read in Daniel's, he sets up every king that comes into rulership. And he set up these Edomites to come into rulership. Like they used to say, manifest destiny. But that is true. But your time is up now. Right? So the Most High is going to take you down. And your destiny is really to be in slavery under us. That's the ultimate destiny of the Edomites. Okay? That's their ultimate destiny. And that's what they didn't realize, man. When they were doing all that wickedness, you know, killing off the Tainos and the so-called Native Americans and the Aztecs or whatever, right? They didn't realize that there was going to have to be a recompense for that, man. That they were going to have to get paid back for that. They in that time while they were doing their wickedness, they didn't consider that the latter end, right? Let me read that again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, that's going into the images. You know, the Lord being a so-called black man. They covered that, right, by putting him up like a so-called white boy. You see what I'm saying? So that's how they covered up the faces of the judges. Okay, let's get hold up. Right, let's get Habakkuk, the second chapter. And jump back to Habakkuk. Before that, I wanted to get Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. This is Ecclesiastes 8 verse 11. And it says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So Esau, when he came to the side of the earth, all the wickedness that he was doing, he wasn't thinking of the future, man. Just like when Esau sold his birthright, he wasn't thinking about the future. Okay, he was just worried about instant gratification. He was just worried about how he can fulfill his belly right there and then by that wickedness. Okay, which is the trait of an evil, wicked man. You understand? Because the Most High, he's long suffering, and that's the Heavenly Father. He doesn't just do things right away, man. And it grieves him to see wickedness on the earth like this, man. But what he's doing, he's waiting for the perfect time to actually execute that judgment. He's playing chess right now. All right? But these Edomites, how they live is they just want to instant gratification at all times, man. All right? They don't want to wait for anything. Do things the right way. That's why they have GMO foods and all that shit. Because they want that profit now. They don't care who it destroys. Doesn't care how much cancer it creates. Because they're a demon, man. All right? These Edomites are a bunch of demons. And that's what you people have to realize, man. Okay? It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. And that's speaking about the Israelites, starting with the elect of Israel, man. We fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because that's our power. You understand? They don't fear anybody, right? Except for a gun or, carnal things. You know? We fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We're not worried about people with guns and all that, man. Okay? Because we know our power controls all that, man. You see? Our power controls all of what people do, man. Where people go, who people kill. So what do we have to fear, man? We don't have nothing to fear. We just gotta wait for the judgment to play out for these devils, man. As it's playing out right now, very clearly. Let's get Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, man. Because there's one thing Esau can't buy back, and that's time, man. Esau can never buy back time of rulership. His rulership is about done, and this is it for him, man. Okay? Let's get Habakkuk real quick. Habakkuk, 2nd chapter. This is Habakkuk 2. This is Habakkuk 2. I'll start at verse 5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that's all Esau does. That's all the Edomites do. They take that which is not theirs, man. See? Now people are starting to look at them like a problem, like a terrorist, like a demon. You see? Because for years they were able to walk around the earth and steal and pillage. But now they're being called out. You see? Like I said, all the scriptures are going to come to pass, man. Whether they like it or not. Whether they believe it or not. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and await that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. And no one has spoiled more nations than the so-called white man. Okay, by far. There's no competition with these Edomites, man. Okay? They've spoiled more nations than anyone in history, man. Probably combined, man. Okay? So these Edomites, you know their judgment is coming. Let me read that again. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations. Did they not spoil the so-called Native Americans? Did they not spoil the so-called Latinos, man? Did they not spoil the so-called Negroes? Right? The West Indian, you know? The Haitian, the African American. Did they not spoil all of us? And all these other nations that are third world countries now? Did not these Edomites spoil them? Right? Setting up all those proxy wars on the low. And so this doesn't fit anyone more than it fits the so-called white man. All right? And it says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land. Is not this land filled with blood? Is not this land filled with innocent blood? Right? Was not this Native American land? Let me continue. It says, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, and that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. What that means is someone that looks at what somebody else has, right, with evil intent to take it, steal it, kill him for it, like all these so-called white people's foreparents did, and like what they're doing right now. Okay, so that he can be delivered from evil, which means he's on a higher level now. Now he's looking at you like, pull yourself up from the bootstraps. You see? That's how the devil operates, man. Okay? But he's not telling you how he's setting up these economic hitmen to destroy these other nations' economy and steal their fucking natural resources, man. All right? So these devils have to get paid back for that, man. Let's continue. It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people. Now, Habakkuk is a deep chapter, man. All right? You see the shame that these devils have now. Now people are calling them out, man. Now they can't even say certain things, man, without being fucking harassed on the goddamn internet, man. All right? They got to watch their mouth now. Because why? Because they're being shamed. Are you an Edomite? Are you an Edomite? You know what an Edomite is? Let me read about your history, buddy. This is because thou hast spoiled many. No, wait, where you going, buddy? Were you scared of the truth? You scared of the truth? Why are you running? Because thou hast spoiled many people, many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood and for the violence of the land. How was this land gotten? Was it gotten through trade or was it stolen by blood? Huh? How did the Native Americans lose their land? Huh? You devils are going to pay for that, man. Every one of you Edomites are going into slavery, man. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, it's not going to stop the prophecies. Because the prophecies are getting played out every day. I see the prophecies coming to pass every day, man. You devils are going down day by day, man. Okay? And it's going to continue until everything that we say is accomplished, man. Until the microchip is implemented as the mark of the beast. Until you start killing these so-called blacks and Latinos indiscriminately. Because that's coming too, man. They're setting you Israelites up for the okie doke, man. All right? That's why they're trying to paint you as a terrorist now. You see? But Jake thinks it's a joke, man. All these Israelites think it's a joke until a gun is in their fucking face, man. You know? Simple-minded baboons, man. All right? But the Most High is going to bring judgment, man. Not only on Esau, but our people too, man. And these other nations. Judgment is going to come forth, man. All right? Let's continue. It says, for the stone shall cry out. Salakia, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. And that's all these Edomite cities have been established by iniquity, man. By wickedness, right? By sin, all right? That's why everything is being broken right now, man. You got transgender children popping up. It's just getting worse and worse, man. And these people are all with it, man. They're all down with that. You know? Why? Because they're of Satan. You see? We're the only ones that the Most High is dealing with. Okay? The one that you call God is dealing with. We're the only ones. All right? The brothers you see out here pushing this word out. That's why we have all the answers. You go to your local pastor, you don't have the answers to this book because the Most High is not dealing with it. The Most High hasn't opened up his mind. Ask him about Revelation, see if he can break it down to you, man. We can break it down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? So these people are gonna be sadly mistaken, man. They're gonna wake up one day. They're gonna see all hell breaking loose in these streets, and they're gonna know what's up. They're gonna know that the men on the streets in those crazy looking garments were telling the truth. All right? Let's get Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, man. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5. I'll start at verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. And who's the righteous man? The righteous man is us out here pushing this word out. We're standing in great boldness in front of the face of these devils, man. Because all the rest of the world is afraid of these Edomites, man. Speaking about these so-called white people, man. We're telling them to their face their judgment, man. Okay? to their face. All right, we're not hiding behind a computer screen like these devils do. You know, they like to put racism behind a computer screen like a bunch of pussies, man. We come out here on the streets and tell you, man. All right. And it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Who did that? Who afflicted us and who made no account of our labors? Which means all the inventions that we've done, man. Because the majority of the inventions on the planet was from so-called black men, African Americans, man. Right? But they don't tell you that in the school system, man. Right now, the way Esau put you Jakes out there, the only thing you could be is a goddamn rapper, a basketball player, man, or football, or sports, anything with sports. All right? They don't go into the inventions that your people have created, man. All right? Like fiber optics, which is why you have high-speed internet, man. One of the fathers of the internet, right? The guy who invented the filament for the light bulb, they don't go into those things, man. All right? Which was a so-called black man, which was Edison's slave, actually. You know? The wrench, the street light, the gas mask, you know, the refrigeration system, the reason you have a refrigerator in your home, the AC, okay? That was all from so-called black people, namely African Americans, which is of the tribe of Judah, the head tribe, okay? Let's go. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Why? Because they look down on our people, right? So they're going to be like, okay, this was him. These were the people that we called, you know, niggers, laziness, blah, 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 spicks, etc., right? How are they the people of God, man? The scriptures tell you exactly what these devils are saying now. All right? And it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had some time in derision. A proverb of reproach, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. But guess what? They're gonna be sadly mistaken, man. All right? Because our people are meant to be rulers on this planet Earth. And that's what's coming back real soon. All right? And it says, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us. And the Son of righteousness rose not upon us, man. All right? Which is speaking about Yahushua. Okay? Because Yahushua only rose upon us. We're the only ones that have the light, man. The brothers out here pushing this word out, man. Okay? The Israelites. There's no other nation that has this light, man. You ain't gonna find no Chinese person unless he sends from the Israelites, you know, a group of them, you know, a big number of them coming up with this word, man. Understanding this word and breaking it down the way we do. Because this light was given unto Israelites, man. Definitely ain't gonna see the devil do it, the so-called white man. You ain't gonna see him do it, all right? Because it wasn't given to him. What was